Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Shout out to the 19. Always appreciated. Folks, we got some WNBA ratings for you finally from the games on Sunday now that Caitlin Clark is no longer playing in the WNBA. Well, this season, don't panic. I'm sure she'll be back maybe. We'll see. But we have numbers finally without Caitlin Clark. As you know, the Fever are finished. The Aces and the Liberty are playing a rematch of last year's final with the last two seasons MVPs, Breanna Stewart, and the anointed MVP from before the season even started, A'ja Wilson. We also had the Lynx and the Olympic coach playing against the Connecticut Sun. How did those two games turn out? And how do they compare to Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever against the Connecticut Sun? Well, let's take a look real quick and see if we can see what we've got here. Okay, Aces Liberty semifinal Sunday on major network ABC averaged a whopping, and by whopping I mean dismal, 929,000 fans. Yes, as I said, it is better than the Aces Liberty, the best Aces Liberty finals game last season, which drew 889,000 in the final game, but that was also on ESPN. So they basically did the same number, but one was on this one when the league has supposedly grown so much because we all love all these wonderful WNBA players with their missed layups and air balls from three and their wonderful, likable attitudes. We're flocking to the TV to watch these games. 929,000. Couldn't break a million. Caitlin Clark broke a million 20 times. Is it 20 and even 20? I think it was an even 20 times. This season alone. But Aces Liberty couldn't break a million on ABC. Yet Caitlin Clark's final WNBA playoff game averaged 2.54 million viewers on ESPN. It peaked at 3.4 million viewers. It is the largest audience the WNBA has ever seen on cable. And their 10th largest overall. Absolutely insane numbers. There it is. Peak 3.4 million, which only trailed the All-Star game earlier in the season, which we know got 3.44 million because of Caitlin Clark. Here we go. I'm sorry. It is not 20. It is 21 Fever games and the All-Star game that Caitlin Clark played in that broke a million, even though there has not been a single million viewer game since 2008 until this year. The record in a season is 15. Caitlin Clark did 22 herself. Take away the All-Star game, it's still 21. But folks, wait a minute. This game that did less than a million, barely broke 900,000 on ABC, not on ESPN. It had the face of the league, the face, folks, the unanimous MVP, the one, the only, the best player to ever lace them up, A'ja Wilson. Getting that Nike shoe probably coming out before Caitlin Clark. By the way, you can get her Wilson basketball because it's never sold out. Explain to me, please explain to me how the face of the league cannot draw 1 million viewers in a rematch of last year's final, in a rematch of or I shouldn't say a rematch, in a clash of the last two seasons MVPs. Remember when she lied about her shoe deal, about the whole delayed nonsense, even though she knew that she already had a shoe deal, that she already had that contract, and it would be coming out? Remember how she was anointed the MVP as soon as Breanna Stewart was announced the winner last year and all the racial complaints came out? And that's why she got the unanimous MVP this year, because of those complaints. Yeah, I know she played well, but again, it's a lot easier as an incumbent. And Breanna Stewart was not the incumbent this year, Asia Wilson, because she was anointed before the season started. Yet somehow, in this clown league, the face couldn't draw 1 million viewers. You are going to have to explain to me how that happens. Delayed, not denied. That was the phrase I was trying to think of. Remember that? She was delayed, not denied. Of course, she wasn't delayed because she already had her shoe deal. By the way, these numbers, do they look familiar to you? And here's what I mean by that. 929,000. We'll go back up. 200, where is it? 2.54 million during the regular season. As I did in a previous video, talked about Caitlin Clark drew I think it was like 1.178 million, almost 1.2 million for her games on TV. It was much higher than that. It was like 1.5 or 1.6 if you took out the NBA TV stuff. The rest of the league did 394,000. The rest of the league, the games on televised games without Caitlin Clark, that, by the way, included a couple of games or 3 games that did over 1 million, 2 that were lead-in to Caitlin Clark games, and 1 stand on its own. And yet the average was still 394,000. Caitlin Clark's games 3x the rest of the league. This looks very similar, not quite 3x, but close, 2.54 to 929,000. It 4x'd. Hey, 4x. Anyway, it 4x'd the Lynx Sun game, which only did 654,000. This is a Caitlin Clark-centric league. The WNBA hates everything about that, but they need to deal with it. Because if they don't get this fixed, it's going to get worse, not better, because you still have some Fever fans that are still trying to give you a chance, despite the league letting it known how much they despise and hate and do not want Fever fans. Do we remember the spiel from the wonderful Atlanta Dream owner who said that she does not want you. She does not want you as fans. You are not like them. She made it very, very, very clear that you are not wanted. So what do, WNBA? What are you going to do when the people watching Caitlin Clark aren't watching any of the rest of your games? Is your media rights deal still going to be good? I know there's a look in, 3 years in? Are they going to look at the ratings and say, wait a minute, no, we don't want this? You better hope that the NBA has enough leverage, even though their ratings are crashing, to keep those deals in place, to be able to hold that threat of, well, you're going to lose the games you have with us if you don't continue to pay this X amount to the WNBA? Or is it the NBA that's going to say, hey, yeah, you know what? You're right. We're going to take away, because they made this deal. We're going to take away some of that WNBA money. We're going to give it to the NBA. We're going to keep it, because they might decide they need to start seeing some money back, because from the top down, from Kathy Engelbert down, through all the players, through the coaches, through the media, and when I say all, okay, 99%. There have been a couple professional players in terms of how they've acted about all this, but for the most part, they've been horrifically bad. And this might be the end of the line for the WNBA in terms of the money it gets from the NBA. And then that is a real problem, because they will have to fix all of this clown show BS that's been going on all season, all this incredible incompetence that we've seen from how they handled the Kennedy Carter incident. Because remember, that wasn't even called a flagrant foul during the game. It is absolutely nuts. If they want to get these ratings up, they need to do different things in how they handle the fans, the media, how their players react in the press conferences. Everything has to change. Otherwise, the few Fever fans who are giving you a boost for other games, they're going to check out as well. It is absolutely, this is a clown show of a league, folks, and it's reflected in the non-Caitlin Clark ratings. 654,000 for the Lynx Sun game. The finals rematch couldn't break 1 million on ABC. That is an embarrassment. That is an embarrassment for those teams. That is an embarrassment for the WNBA commissioner, Kathy Engelbert. It is a complete and total embarrassment for A'ja Wilson. And I'm sure she won't see it that way, but the face of the league does not draw 929,000 for a semifinal playoff game. No, the face of the league draws 2.54 million in a first round playoff game on a cable channel. Oh man, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. By the way, I think we're like 58 subscribers as I do this, away from 10,000, which is absolutely insane. So smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you have, go torture a friend with your nonstop talking and get them to do it. I would really appreciate it. And I will talk to all of you later.